From Philharmonic Hall in Lincoln Center, home of the world's greatest musical events, the Shell Oil Company brings you the New York Philharmonic Young People's Concerts, under the musical direction of Leonard Bernstein. And here is Mr. Bernstein.
My dear young friends, as you may know, we devote one young people's program every year to presenting young performers to you, young people who are so gifted and so well developed in music that they're already real artists. Now, this year again, we found great numbers of brilliant young talents, but as it turned out, they were almost all pianists for some reason. It's like an epidemic. Everyone seems to have caught piano fever. So we've decided to present only pianists on this particular program, 4 of them, 3 girls and 1 boy, who I believe will really make you sit up and take notice. These 4 artists are going to be heard in 2 piano concertos, one by Mozart and one by Liszt. Now, there's a rather tricky problem in arithmetic. How do you fit 4 pianists into 2 concertos? Well, it's not really so hard. You see, the 3 young ladies will play 1 movement each of the Mozart concerto in A major, which happens to have exactly 3 movements. And then the young man will play all of the Liszt concerto in E flat major, which is all in only 1 movement anyway. So you see, it works out very neatly. One other thing, you may also know that we have here at the Philharmonic not 1 but 3 young assistant conductors, 3 new ones each year, whose job it is to be ready at all times to help out at rehearsals and especially be ready to take over if I or one of our guest conductors should get sick. Now, this doesn't happen very often, luckily for me, but unluckily for them. I know that problem personally from my own experience, since I myself started out as the assistant conductor of this very orchestra 20 years ago, and I remember doing a lot of waiting around myself. And so today I'm going to ask all 3 of our assistants to conduct this Mozart concerto, 1 movement apiece. So again, you see the arithmetic works out just perfectly. Now here we go with the brilliant opening movement of the Mozart concerto in A major, to be played by the 14-year-old Joan Weiner, who comes to us from Falls Church, Virginia. I think you'll be amazed by the strength and sureness of Miss Weiner's playing, and I bet if you closed your eyes, you'd find it hard to believe that this was the performance of a 14-year-old girl. The orchestra for this movement will be under the direction of our gifted young assistant conductor, Yuri Krasnopolsky, who, despite his Russian-sounding name, is a born and bred American. Mr. Krasnopolsky came within an ace of being Dr. Krasnopolsky, since he spent many years studying medicine as well as music, but he finally made the great decision, and here he is today to accompany Joan Weiner. it, it used to be in the olden days that young ladies by the thousands used to study the piano just as part of good breeding. And it was enough if they could play a little piece at a party, which was called a social accomplishment. But our three young ladies today have nothing at all to do with that world. They are serious artists, as you have just heard and are still about to hear. Our next artist is only 12 years old. Her name is Claudia Hoca, H-O-C-A, and she will play the lovely, haunting second movement of this same Mozart concerto. Claudia was born in Austria, where her mother lived and taught school. Her father was a refugee from the Russian Ukraine, and today they all live happily in Buffalo, New York, where Mr. Hoca is a professor at Niagara University. A very cultured family, all in all, and I think you'll find Claudia's performance equally cultured. Our conductor this time is the talented Zoltan Rozsnyai, which would seem to make him Hungarian, which in fact he is. Or rather, he's half Hungarian and half Austrian, which gives him a certain extra sympathy with Miss Hoca, to say nothing of the greatest Austrian of them all, Mozart. And here they are, Miss Hoca and Mr. Rozsnyai. that is what you call beautiful music and beautiful playing by beautiful girls, it's going to be hard to follow them. I'd be a little scared myself, but I guarantee that our next young lady will follow them with honors. She is the 13-year-old Pamela Paul, born in New York City, with the extra advantage of having a musician for a father. Still, that shouldn't make too much difference. After all, Joan Weiner's father is a dentist, and Claudia Hoca's father is a professor of education, and my father's in the beauty parlor business. So I guess there's no strict rule about musicians' fathers. This last movement of the Mozart Concerto will be conducted by a very promising lad who comes to us from France, Serge Fournier. Now, I know it's rather difficult for you to remember all these strange foreign names of our three assistant conductors, Krasnopolsky, Rozsnyai, Fournier, but we here at the Philharmonic are very proud of our international relations. So here is the finale of the Mozart Concerto in A major, played by Pamela Paul, conducted by Serge Fournier. And now we come to a young man who is so remarkable that I'm tempted to give him a tremendous build-up, but I'd almost rather not, so that you might have the same unexpected shock of pleasure and wonderment that I had when I first heard him play. He was just another in a long procession of pianists who were auditioning for us one afternoon, and out he came, a sensitive-faced 16-year-old boy from Philadelphia, looking rather like a young Persian prince, who sat down at the piano and tore into the opening bars of a Liszt concerto in such a way that we simply flipped. He is named André Watts, and that mixed-up name comes from having an American father named Watts and a Hungarian mother who met each other in Nuremberg, Germany, where André's father was stationed with the United States Army. I love that kind of story. I like to believe that international marriages produce highly distinguished human beings. And at least this one did, as you are about to hear, when André plays for you the Liszt Concerto in E-flat major. Now, because I admire his playing so much, I'm going to be selfish and take the pleasure of conducting for him myself. Now, let us welcome with warmth and pride André Watts.
Philharmonic Hall in Lincoln Center, another New York Philharmonic Young People's Concert under the musical direction of Leonard Bernstein has been presented by the Shell Oil Company. This concert, Young Performers, featured piano concertos by Mozart and Liszt. The next concert in the Young People series will be presented in 7 weeks, on Friday, March the 8th, at which time Mr. Bernstein's subject will be the Latin American spirit. The preceding program was pre-recorded and was produced and directed by Roger Englander. Be sure to see Shell's Wonderful World of Golf starting Sunday afternoon, January 20th, on another network. Check your local listings for time and station.